Greetings. I'd like to invite my colleague, my friend, and of course, client, David Precision is with us today. David, thanks for taking some time.
My pleasure, Steve.
David, you are the founder and CEO of one of the largest content media firms around the topic of yoga and wellness in Canada. And you founded your company, Do Yoga With Me, in 2008. I think our audience is probably curious just what inspired you to start the company and what brought you to this point and what's the mission of the business?
Yeah, we started with the question, can we provide free yoga online to those who don't have access to it? And so it's been 14 or 15 years that we've been playing around with that idea and that business model. And of course, the business has changed a lot over the years, and we've added a lot of different ideas, opportunities to the business, but it's maintained that original value system. We're a social purpose business. So with every business decision we make, we recognize the importance of the impact on planet, people, and then of course we want to generate revenue, so profit as well. And we have, along with the on-demand and live content we create, we've also added in-person opportunities to come to our yoga retreats in different parts of the world.
Fantastic. So the mission of the company, as you said, is to provide free yoga to the world. And that's certainly an honorable, virtuous mission because no question everyone can benefit from yoga. When we started working together in the business, what were some of the challenges that you were experiencing at the time and what inspired you to reach out to us and get some help?
Yeah, we had a good team, but back then we lacked an efficient project management system and method that everyone bought into and that everyone was comfortable with, and that created the kind of feel in the company and the business that we wanted, like amongst the team members. So we weren't really able to get strong team cohesion and the positive company culture that we were aiming for. We didn't really understand why.
And so you're producing hundreds, if not thousands of pieces of media per year. You have a creative process, you have a video production process, and you have quite a bit of volume moving through that process. Like, where were the bottlenecks that you saw and how was that impacting the business? And then what was the immediate goal to get fixed as quickly as possible?
Yeah, it's interesting. Some of them we were aware of and some of them we were not. And so we went through this process with you, Stephen. So the biggest ones were asset management. As you said, we produce a lot of not only like content, but also marketing materials. And we weren't organizing it as well as we could have. We also were having a lot of meetings, and we were running those meetings in a way that was hard to follow up on. Our project management was messy. And, all of those things led to problems amongst the team. Like our communication wasn't happening as effectively as it could have, our team cohesion, and basically just how everybody felt going to work. We wanted everyone to want to come and feel inspired. And because of all of those things, people weren't feeling inspired.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So you started using the project management, task management tools like Asana. You had built out some workflows, but there was lack of consistency, lack of predictability, and just these technologies and these tools can be complicated once you get in there and you start using it. And so I think the goal was to help streamline the workflows, help everyone get up to speed, comfortable using the technology, but not in a way that creates more work, that actually creates less work and automates as much as possible. And then being really effective in terms of meetings, agendas, action items. So you have one meeting a week instead of 5 meetings a week. Is that a fair characterization of what the objectives were?
Oh, absolutely. We wanted less meetings, we wanted more effective meetings. We wanted common understanding among all team members on how projects were operating and how they were managed. We wanted meetings that were not only efficient, but fun, positive. We wanted reference material from those meetings so people couldn't make it, could go back and easily find the most important points that were made and decisions that were made in that meeting. And one of the things that created an immediate change was company culture. And that resulted in team members taking more initiative, supporting one another, bonding, and for us to have the free time to actually have check-ins with our staff, to keep up with the problems that they're facing on an individual level and how to support them through those issues so that, they don't become bigger problems.
That's a really key point there is every individual on every team is struggling with their own challenges. And oftentimes decisions that are made for an individual have a negative group outcome. And so the idea is to build in a process there that allows everyone to voice those challenges in a way that everyone can swarm and rally around to try to solve those. Oftentimes, it's not an individual challenge, it's an organizational challenge. And if we go for the root, then whether it's technology or meeting structure or handoffs or approvals or feedback loops, whatever the workflow looks like, it's not just about using the technology to automate. It's not just about individuals being more productive. It really is all about an approach and a methodology around how you do task management, how you do project management, and ultimately how work moves through the organization. You went through this process. It was about an 8-week process. What were some of the impacts that you saw early on? And then perhaps some of the other impacts that may have taken a little more time to percolate and become realized in the business.
Yeah, so the system that you taught us was different enough than what we were doing that it was quite a steep learning curve for our team. So we were thankful that you made sure that we were ready for it. We freed up some time so that our team members were not overwhelmed. And we felt like we had the individual time and energy to go through this process. And really the challenges up front were mainly to adopt what you were suggesting in terms of the project structure, like the tracking mechanisms that you were showing us in Asana. So we just felt like you were so well prepared and you were always available. Like we would reach out to you and you'd be available the next day. And to have that kind of response and care put into our process was so important to feel that support. And also making really good use of our time. When we have a full team coming in to learn how a project functions, every minute is important. And we learned so much in every session. So I realized quickly that our responsibility was to take what you were teaching us and to apply it to the projects that were currently active and to shift everyone from the old system to the new system, which is not easy, but I'm telling you, the positive impact that process had on us. And then, of course, all of the side benefits, the meeting tracking, the storage of all of the material that we are producing on a daily basis, saving time in all of those different aspects. It just made work life remarkably easier and more fun, more positive.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I think that the ultimate objective here is to give time back, not just to leadership, but to the teams themselves so they can be more strategic in their work. What kind of time commitment did you find was required from you during that process? I know we were working directly with your teams. You were there quite a bit. And do you feel that time commitment was well worth it?
Oh, yeah. As I said, it was well worth it. In terms of the time commitment, I think we were asking our team for about 2 hours a week. And then Sean and I were putting a little bit more in because me primarily, because I was the one who wanted to learn Asana. And Asana being such a powerful program, there are all kinds of tools that you can learn to make every aspect of your daily life as a project manager and a business leader easier. So I was probably putting in 3 to 4 hours.
That makes sense. And on a practical level, David, in terms of just your production process, did that ultimately impact your ability to deliver to the marketplace more content, more frequently, with fewer bottlenecks, more efficiently?
Oh, absolutely. So the way I look at it is this process set the foundation for successful operation of a team. So as I said already, freeing up time, huge. For all kinds of reasons, creating a positive company culture, like having team members who are excited and passionate when you talk to them and when they come to a meeting, everyone loves going to work. And so that ends up, the changes go down the line. Like we end up having people who are inspired to create or to think about how to create a better product. So our videography team was like, okay, we have all this time and now we're going to create a new set. We're going to learn more about these cameras. We're going to make sure we got the lighting right. We're going to bring in the teacher that suits this particular environment. And we're going to do research into what our audience wants. Like all of this free time ended up giving us the opportunities to understand our product and our audience on a deeper level so that we could serve their needs better.
That makes complete sense. Were you surprised by any of the results after going through implementing a project management system, getting your workflows running? Like, did anything surprise you or not so much?
Oh, lots of it surprised me. Actually, the one thing that really surprised me, Stephen, was your level of knowledge around what it means to run a company in an agile way. So not only were we learning these well-established methods of project management and all of the things I've talked about, asset management, meeting, how to conduct a meeting, how to record a meeting, but also how do you decide where to put your energy in a given quarter. And how do you do it in an effective, efficient way? That was huge for us. And also for Sean and I, who are business owners, we realized very quickly that we could actually work less. And as owners, I mean, this is something that we wanted to do for years because of the pressures of business ownership. You know, that stress adds up, and our family, our kids are getting older. And I can't tell you the value that it brought to our personal lives. It was really surprising and it was amazing.
Thank you. That's what it's all about. Not only helping your team think more strategically and get out of the busy work and remove all the waste that we possibly can, but allowing leadership to step back and be more strategic and get out of the weeds as much as possible. If someone was on the fence about going through this process for their team and implementing a work management system, a project management system, and getting their operation more efficient, say, what advice would you give to them if they're considering it or on the fence?
Yeah, I would first say, give me a call. I'd be happy. Seriously, or send me an email. It's from a business perspective, I always want to speak to references before I commit to anything. And I would say that, so we were aware of many of the problems that were existing in our team, but there are a lot that you're not aware of until someone points them to you. So I would say if you already can see that your team needs help functioning in a efficient way, needs help getting that company culture that you want, then I would say just take this step, because not only will you learn how to do that, you'll probably start to see other issues that you weren't aware of that absolutely need to get addressed.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Any final thoughts before we just conclude for today?
Yeah, I would say that it's crucial that you come up with processes and a management that are easy and that the team buys into, and also encourages creativity, collaborative process, saves you enormous amounts of time and money, and inspires the team. Like, those are the biggest changes that happen for us. And it has had such a huge impact on our business overall. Like, we have seen lower churn in our subscriptions. We've seen greater stickiness on our website. We've seen more traffic, more revenue. Like, all of these changes have resulted in real, measurable, positive shifts in our company.
Awesome. That's what it's all about. David, thanks so much. And for anyone who watches this, do yogawithme.com. The company does amazing retreats. And if you're looking for some rejuvenation, a reset, and you just need to find some space for yourself, there's no better team to go to than David's organization and his company. So cannot recommend enough. David, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And look forward to connecting on our next call.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.